Hello and welcome to Challenger Virtual Season 5, Round 5, and finally the moment everyone's been waiting for, the debut of the Palanga circuit of the Lithuanian C-Prix, Lithuanian C-Prix here today. But first of all, let's take a look at the championship standings as they are currently. Here we go. Drivers' Championship. First of all, we have Priya leading it with 51 points. Then it's Pappy with 45, Iceberg with 40, followed by Shiloh and Fast Juicer both with 34, but Shiloh has a win, while Fast Juicer does not. 30 points for Shiloh's teammate Kader. Then we have Julo, Charge JT, Butterlord in 9th, Suicide with 19 points, Quetzley, Todsot, Stefano, Nandi, Vaporeon, Kraft, Juan, Enigma, Corvid, and Amor yet to score points. He might be able to do it today. We'll just have to wait and see. Let's take a look at the constructors' standings currently. By far, it's Acer Audi Sport in that promotion spot with 91 points with 3 victories, and they are quite a bit away. RBR and Pappy Pops are tied for second with 64 points. Russell British Racing wins on countback because they've won a race. Matessa close behind in 4th with 54 points. Knurry Racing Team in 5th with 35. Then Polish NRT with 27. Dan and Flo 27. Alpha Prime in 22. In the 2 relegation spots we have Hurricane currently with 20 points and Motor Evid with 4 points. Pre-qualifying is nearly done and we're going to start 3 minutes of actual qualifying, but first let's take a look at the car stats. Acer Audi Sport succeed a speed upgrade and move up to become the best car on the grid, 0.2 ahead of Pappy Pops Racing. Polish and National Racing Team Orlan succeed a grip and a double turbo. HRT succeed a double acceleration. Matessa notably succeed a speed upgrade, bringing them to the highest level of speed alongside Pappy Pops, and they get 0.1 ahead of Polish National Racing Team. Both KRT and Motor Evid get a grip upgrade, but both of them remain in the bottom 3 of in terms of car performance index, and RBR succeed a single turbo. So the best car on the grid is Acer Audi Sports. 0.2 behind them are Pappy Pops Racing. 0.5 behind them are Matessa. Then 0.1 behind them are Polish NRT Orlan. 0.4 behind are RBR. 0.1 behind them are Danube. Flow. 0.2 behind them are HRT. 0.3 behind them are both Motor Evid and Team Alpha Prime, and 0.1 behind them are KRT. So we've got some distinct packs here. Acer Audi and Pappy Pops at the top, then Matessa and Polish NRT in that upper midfield, then it's RBR, Danube Flow and HRT in that lower midfield, and back markers KRT, Motor Evid and Team Alpha Prime in terms of car performance. Of course, it's not all about car performance. And let's just get straight into it. 3 minutes of qualifying. No tire wear, no rain. Boost recharges every single lap. Let's get straight into qualifying here for the Lithuanian C-Prix. Here we go, and we're underway. No collisions, of course. And let's take a look at the token spends while the drivers complete their first lap. We've got only one 4 token spender today, and it is the lucky Quetzley boy of HRT. They definitely need an influx of points. We got 3 tokens being spent by the likes of Juan, Julo, Amor, Vaporeon, and Stefano from the Noob Flow. We have 2 tokens being spent by Senor Pappy, as well as Enigma from Motor Evid, Todsot from Dan and Flo, and Kader from Russell British Racing, spending the final 2 tokens that RBR have to offer, and finally 1 token being spent by Iceberg. The rest of the drivers are tokenless. So let's see here. Provisional pole is Juan. He does very well, has been on the front row in qualifying both times when he spent 3 tokens. However, he drops like a brick, and now Quetzley and Stefano go on to provisional pole tied. Then we have Juan in third, followed by Vaporeon. Then it is Amwar, then it is Senor Papi, Kader in 7th. Butterlord Tokenless is up in 8th at the current moment. Great stuff from the newly upgraded Metessa. Corvid Tokenless up in 9th. Also great stuff. Let's see here. Guetzli goes sub 27. So does Juan. Puts it on pole position. Stefano is in 3rd. Kader in 4th. Butterlord up to 6th. Tokenless. Pappy, where is Senor Pappy? He's down in 9th at the current moment. Iceberg spending 1 token is in 14th. Enigma spending 2 in 12th. Shows you the disparity between the better cars and the worst cars. Here goes across the line. Guetzli Boy does not improve. Kader improves. He is still in 4th, but Vaporeon improves up to 3rd. Stefano and Kader knocked down as a result. We're seeing some moves there at the bottom, near the bottom of the grid. And now can Guetzli take that pole position from Juan? He needs a faster lap than 26.70. He needs to find about 3/10. Stefano is going fast behind him. Stefano improves to 27.15. Is not enough to gain any sort of advantage. Julo up into 7th ahead of Butterlord, who drops down to 8th now. But still tokenless. Corvid is in 12th now, so Butterlord looks to be the only tokenless driver up in the top 10 in this qualifying session. Fast Juicer, his teammate, is down in 15th. Stefano does not improve. Nobody here improving. Senor Papi improves up to 9th, but he's still behind Butterlord despite spending 2 tokens. Not a great qualifying for him. Final lap of qualifying here in the infamous circuit of Palanga. Juan is going pretty fast here. He's already on pole position. Can he extend his gap? It is a 26. No, he does not improve, but neither does anyone else. And it looks like Juan will be starting on pole position. Iceberg improves up to 8th at the very end. Butterlord knocked down to 10th. Julo improves. Todd Sod. Iceberg's down to 9th. Let's take a look at the full results of qualifying in just a sec. Here we go. Juan starts on pole position. Guetzli Boy from the front row with his 4 tokens. Juan once again great qualifying. The question is, can he keep his possession? Vaporeon will start from 3rd. That is an incredible job for Team Alpha Prime. Stefano starts from 4th. Kader from 5th. Great stuff from the RBR. Amor will start from 6th. Todd from 7th. Julo will start from 8th. Iceberg with just 1 token starts from 9th. Beats Senor Papi, who has 2 tokens being spent. Butterlord tokenless will start from 10th, tied with Iceberg, but I believe Iceberg set the lap time first. That's what it looked like on the leaderboard anyways, so I'll just have Iceberg in front. Senor Papi starts from 11th despite spending 2 tokens. It's not a great qualifying, but he's not really well known for great qualifying. He's more well known for great races. Enigma spending 2 tokens starts from 12th. Corvid, second best tokenless results starting from 13th. Then Shiloh, Fast Juicer, Priya, Nandi, Kraft, Charge GT, and Suicide rounds off the grid. 20 drivers here today, 45 laps here at the Palanga circuit, finally coming to the virtual leagues. Finally, the Lithuanian C-Prix will make its debut here today. Let's get straight into it without any further ado. Let's get straight into it. Yeah. Here we go. Juan starting on the hards again. Guetzli on the mediums. Vaporeon, Stefano starting on the softs. Behind Kader's on the hards. Amor on the mediums. Todd Sod on the mediums. Iceberg on the softs. We've got Julo on the hards. Butterlord on the mediums. We got Iceberg getting through into 8th. Vaporeon takes the early lead. Juan is on those hards. He's holding down 2nd for now, but Stefano goes round the inside. And Juan is already down into 3rd. No collisions, it looks like, at the back there. And we've got, let's take a look down the order. Vaporeon, Stefano, Juan, Kader, and Amwar. Iceberg is already up into 6th, into 5th. Great stuff for 1 token. Gwetzley Boy, 4 tokens down into 7th at the current moment. Enigma in 8th, Todsod in 9th, Julo holding down 10th as much as he can, but there is Butterlord and Corvid right behind him. Butterlord goes on the inside. Butterlord's up into 10th, and Corvid is up into 11th. Corvid is up into 10th. Stefano's in the lead of the race now. Vaporeon followed by Juan. Despite starting on hards, he's having a good start here. Gwetzley Boy looking to overtake Amor, but there's just not enough space to do so. And you can tell how just absolutely crazy this circuit is in terms of the very tight chicanes, very tight hairpins. It is madness to spend tokens on such a circuit. Vaporeon, smooth overtake on the straight on Stefano, Kader and Juan holding down 3rd and 4th. Gwetzley trying to keep Enigma behind, but Enigma's on those softs. He has the traction through the straight, boosts his way through into 5th position. Gwetzley currently in 6th, needs to get that recovery going because he's got 4 tokens. If you look at the token spent here, 4 tokens for Gwetzley, 3 tokens from Juan, Julo, Amor, Vaporeon, and Stefano. Kader doing pretty well. He's only spending 2 tokens, but Stefano, Vaporeon, Kader actually catching up to Vaporeon here. Only 2 tokens, but he is fighting for the podium. Juan has dropped back, and it's Gwetzley through into 4th position. Juan will counter that. For the intersection, Juan is back into 4th position. Then we have Enigma currently in 6th, Todsod in 7th, but Amor and Iceberg both overtake him at the same time. Pappy spending 2 tokens, he's down in 10th at the current moment, followed by tokenless drivers Corvid, Priya, Julo spending 3 tokens, he's down in 13th, but those hards might give him a bit of an advantage. Not a lot of hards runners ahead of him, and he looks to be making his way past Priya. Butterlord started 10th, is dropped back down to 14th. Stefano's really running away with it now, and Juan and Gwetzley have gotten past Kader now. Both look to chase down Vaporeon. It's a close pack. Iceberg is back into 6th at the current moment. I wonder how long those softs will be able to last. That is a very tight hairpin on the right hand side, though we already have someone petting. It is Corvid petting off of his softs onto another set of softs, I believe. Stefano's got a 2-second gap to Vaporeon behind. Then we have Gwetzley. Of course, he's on the mediums. Juan on the hard, looking to profit. So is Kader. Surely soon we'll see some of them going into the pits. Iceberg goes now. So does Enigma. Pappy, Julo through. They are on the hards after all. Iceberg is gonna exit out in 10th. Enigma down in 13th. 14th. Fast Juicer overtakes him. Stefano's lost his gap ahead, really struggling on that very tight hairpin. And yeah, both him and Vaporeon are in. Gwetzley inherits the lead of the race after 9 laps, and it's Juan close behind him in 2nd, Kader in 3rd. Stefano exits just ahead of his teammate Todsod, but Todsod goes down the inside on those worn mediums. Stefano looking to make a counter move, but he doesn't have the speed to do it. Todsod up in 4th at the current moment. Stefano 5th, Vaporeon 6th. Amor still out on those worn mediums. Iceberg already on those fresh softs has made it back up into 8th position ahead of Julo and Senor Papi. Juan has overtaken Gwetzley, who is really struggling on those mediums now. We'll have to pit eventually. We're at 10 laps out of 45 at the current moment. Oh, Juan gets his personal best fastest lap. Stefano the fastest lap at 26.65 as he gets overtaken again by Todsod, who is on really worn out mediums right now. Slows down Stefano as well, he's still staying out. Gwetzley Boy is into the pits, he pets out on soft tires, exits down in 6th at the current moment. Juan is still out on those worn hards, so is Kader. Kader looking to not profit as much as Juan is, that's for sure. Juan is 4 seconds ahead of Kader. That means he's about 6.5 seconds ahead of Vaporeon, the next driver who's pitted, and Juan enters the pits right now. Kader stays out. Juan enters the pits, comes out on softs. and the pits look to be about 7 seconds, I'd say. His teammate Charge JT has also exited the pits just now. He's down in 20th at the current moment. Not great for him. But it's Kader who's currently leading the race, but those hards have seen better days. He surely will be pitting soon. We see Butterlord, Priya into the pits, I believe. Kader stays out again for another lap. He's out on those hards. It's really backing the car because he is struggling. Vaporeon's already in the back of him, and it's completely sunny here. Stefano looking for a move while they're ghosted, and he's still got the speed out when they when they stop getting ghosted. Stefano is into second, Vaporeon in third. Guetzli on those softs really forcing himself through one of those tight tire chicanes. And Kader's finally into the pits. Stefano into the lead of the race, followed by Guetzli, Vaporeon, Juan. A lot of potential fighters for the win here. Iceberg is on to 5th now. Kader exits out in 6th. Todd Sod, Amwar, Julo is into the pits. That means Enigma is up into 9th. Senor Papi in 10th. But Stefano leading the race right now. 2 soft runners right behind him. And Vaporeon on the hards, if he can just keep close to the podium sitters right ahead of him, he can definitely profit a lot from this. Kader has exited out on mediums. A lot of mixed strategy here today, but Stefano's really showing that pace. 3 tokens spent from him. Guetzli, of course, spending 4 tokens, boosts his way forward. Really close to Stefano now. Stefano's struggling. He's got slightly more worn tires, and he's got slower tires, of course. Softs fastest in a straight line, and there is a few of those straight lines here in Palanga for the Lithuanian C-Prix. Guetzli's right behind Stefano now, goes for a move on the straight, easily overtakes, but Stefano goes for a counter, finds some extra traction, and he remains in the lead of the race. It's Stefano, Guetzli, Juan. Vaporeon has in fact dropped back behind him. Kader leading Todd Sod, currently in 5th. Amor not far behind. Iceberg only spending 1 token, Senor Papi spending 2, Julo spending 3 is down in 10th, Butterlord in 11th, Enigma is down in 12th. Right now he has petted twice, so that might be part of it. He's on very fresh hards here. Stefano and Guetzli and Juan fighting for the lead of the race as the lapped car Suicide enters the pits. Guetzli takes the lead right before the second set of tire chicanes, and he remains in the lead, and Juan gets past Stefano as well, but those softs are starting to get worn now. So are those mediums. Juan into the lead of the race, leads lap 18. Question is, when will they all be pitting? And it's going to be sunny again. Not much rain action happening right now. Juan is into the pits. Guetzli stays out. Juan looking to take an undercut on both him and Stefano. They are on very worn out tires. Stefano takes the inside, takes the lead of the race. Juan has exited out on mediums. Todd Salt is into the pits as well further down. He exits just ahead of Iceberg, who has pitted recently as well. Guetzli still in the lead of the race, of course. Stefano behind him, and they're both into the pits now. Let's see, how will Juan's undercut do? Vaporeon still on those hards, into the lead of the race. Juan by a mile in front of Guetzli and Stefano. What a great undercut, and Kader straight back into this here. Slightly scrubbed mediums, but he is ahead of Stefano at the current moment. However, they are very far from Guetzli boy. It's Vaporeon in the lead of the race, but he's got really worn out hards. Will surely be entering the pits now. Yes, he does, and it's Juan into the lead of the race, started in the pole position, and he might finally be getting a race victory. Last 2 times he spent 3 tokens, started from 2nd on the front row. Both times he dropped back. He finished, I believe, in 10th and in 6th. I'm not quite sure how accurate that is, but he finished in the bottom of the top 10. More often than not, he did not finish in those high hitting points positions, and now might be finally the race where it all goes right for him. Guetzli boy spending 4 tokens will take nothing less than a victory here at Palanga. and he is fighting his hardest to take it. He is very close behind Juan, and he's got fresher, faster tires. Stefano holding on behind Quetzly Boy. Those three are the real fighters for the win here, but Kader really overperforming in that RBR right now. With those 2 tokens, to be in 4th is a great achievement. If he can keep it, we're halfway through the race now. Todd Sod in 5th with 2 tokens, Vaporeon in 6th with 3, but with a struggle of a car. Iceberg in 7th with 1 token is incredible stuff. Amor is in 8th with 3 tokens, but this will be his first point, and we're going to have rain. Quetzly is past the pits, so are Juan and Stefano. Kader is the first one into the pits. It's going to be light rain. Are they going to pit onto the intros, or is it going to be wets? It's wets for Kader. It's wets for Todsod, wets for Vaporeon, wets for Iceberg. Everyone of one mind here. Amor into the pits right now. Are we going to see another weather alert? No, we are not. Amor is onto wets, so is Senor Papi, so is Priya. Everyone onto the wets here, and Quetzly is finally into the pits, so is Stefano, so is Juan. All of them onto the wets. Will Kader gain any time through that undercut? No, it looks like he's kept around the same amount of time as before. Vaporeon is through into 5th, and it's going to be heavy rain, so everyone pitted for wets. They don't have to worry about that, but it's Quetzly in the lead of the race, followed by Stefano. Juan is down into 3rd. Some mix-up must have happened during that rain. Juan undercutted, so he was on slightly more worn tires, lost that time. And Stefano into the lead of the race, squeezes Quetzly Boy just before the tire chicane goes wide, though so does Quetzly. Through the intersection, Quetzly has some speed going through it, and there he goes back into the lead of the race. It's Quetzly Boy for HRT, for Hurricane Racing Team. Juan has really dropped back behind him, 2.3 seconds. That's not great stuff for him. And we have Kader still holding on to 4th. Vaporeon beats Todsot to 5th. Iceberg in 7th. Like I was saying, Amor in 8th. Looking to score his first points of the season. 4 points for 3 tokens is not the greatest. Senor Papi, 2 points for 2 tokens. Also very disappointing for Papi Pops Racing. Looks like Acer Audi Sport might have it in the bag if these performances continue. It's Julo in 10th. In 11th, he's fighting Priya, who's tokenless. Impressive stuff from the Acer Audi. Priya and running in points right now, tokenless. Enigma 2 tokens in 12th. Julo 3 tokens in 11th. Then it's the 2 Matessas in the 7th row, in the 13th and 14th, both tokenless, and everyone is tokenless. Beyond that, Stefano is in the lead of the race. Quetzly Boy getting lapping. Enigma right now is in 2nd. Looking for a move down the inside. There is a few lapped cars giving them difficulties, but through the intersection they're all ghosted, and look at the speed Quetzly takes through that right-hander, and with a little bit of boost at the end, and he's through into the lead of the race. Juan has dropped back about half a second extra. Kader's dropped back 2 seconds from him, still running in 4th. Not a lot of action happening, but we've got Todsod overtaking Iceberg for 6th position. At the current moment, they're pretty close together, closest here. Juan has now closed down. He is 1.5 seconds behind Stefano. He's as close as Stefano. Stefano is the Quetzly Boy, even closer, but he is struggling with some lap traffic with Julo and Enigma, who are fighting for 11th. Can't overtake them before the tight tire chicanes, and he is still gaining time on Stefano, despite that he is a second behind. It's 1.4 seconds now, but he's looking to catch Stefano as much as he can. He's not willing to let this opportunity run away. However, Stefano's closing down the Quetzly Boy as the track is drying up. The weather's getting more and more sunny. Quetzly is losing his lead. Stefano's under a second behind him. Juan has lost an extra second to them, but Vaporeon is up in 4th. What has happened to Gather? He must have had a huge crash. Vaporeon and Totsot are both in front of him. Gather is very close to Totsot, however, Quetzalcoatl still running just under a second ahead of Stefano. Got Gather in 6th at the current moment. Bit of a shame, but he was overperforming, so it is. Not too bad. Iceberg closing down, and they're going into the pits onto dry tires. The podium sitters staying out still. Question is, how will that do on this very tight hairpin? Quetzalcoatl goes wide, so does Stefano. Juan bound to go even worse. Yes, he does, and he loses a lot of speed. Crashing with Priya there. Quetzalcoatl is onto the hards. Stefano onto the softs. There's 11 laps to go. I don't think Quetzalcoatl's pitting again. But I think Stefano will probably have to. Juan is onto the mediums. Will he pit again? Also a good question. He's losing a lot of time trying to lap Priya there. Priya really aggressively making it a struggle for him to lap her. Stefano is in first, Quetzalcoatl in second on those hards. Juan then is Vaporeon, Totsot. Iceberg has gotten past Kader. Both of them on soft. Both have to pit, but Todsot and Vaporeon both on hards will probably not have to pit again. Question is, Stefano's already 3.5 seconds ahead of Quetzalcoatl boy. Maybe he can make this double stop after the rain work. There's 9 laps until the end. They pitted 2 laps ago. 11 laps. You can't take the softs 11 laps. That is a bit of a suicide unless the gap is big enough. But Juan is closing down on Quetzalcoatl boy, 1.5 seconds behind. Julo is through into the final points. Possession gets past Priya. They're both on the mediums, but Julo's got those tokens. And he is through into 10th. That is at least something for him. Priya in 11th. Then it's Enigma in 12th. Not a lot of things happening. Kader chasing down Totsot. He's gotten past Iceberg, chasing down Totsot to reclaim 5th position on those softs. Looking to have really good pace, and there he goes down the inside, and he's through into 5th position. He's 2 seconds behind Vaporeon. Can he chase down Vaporeon as well? That's the question for him to answer, and he is. Got a lot of boost saved up as well, but he's stuck behind Enigma right now. Juan is less than a second behind Quetzalcoatl. Stefano is into the pits now, and Quetzalcoatl is through in the lead of the race, and Juan is also past Stefano as well. Stefano onto a new set of softs. Then we have Vaporeon. Todsot's gone past Kader again. Kader's into the pits. So is Iceberg. Amor stays out. See now, we've got Quetzalcoatl 1.5 seconds ahead of Juan, who's 1.5 seconds ahead of Stefano. Stefano's on those softs. He's got to make them a profit the next 6 laps. And we're going to have heavy rain. He's not going to make them profit. This is great news for Quetzalcoatl. There's 2 lapped cars between him and Juan. Stefano's now caught up to the back of Juan. But the rain is coming soon. The weather marker is moving. Vaporeon, Totsot into the pits. Very bad for Kader. Great for Amor, who stayed out. And he's up into 6th. What a move from him. Kader in 7th. Iceberg in 8th. Senor Papi, one of the last ones to pit. Quetzalcoatl into the pits now. Onto Wets. Juan onto Wets. Stefano dropped down from 1st to 3rd because of this heavy rain, but he's now in front of Juan. 2nd position for him, but they are 3.5 seconds behind Quetzalcoatl boy. And after all this trial and tribulation, Quetzalcoatl can finally get this win. He just has to keep it for the next 4 laps. 4 laps remaining. Juan has dropped back a second behind Stefano. Todsot about 2 seconds behind Vaporeon, Amor still running in 6th ahead of Iceberg and Catter, who's dropped back down to 8th is horrible news for Catter. Priya is once again ahead of Julo, but he is about 2 seconds behind. Can he get it? Can he get it? Juan, closest one right now, and so is Tots up the Vaporeon, but Juan is chasing down Stefano here for 2nd position. Can he take it through the tight hairpin? He's right behind Stefano. They've exited about the same. Juan gets a bit of slipstream there and goes round the back, around the inside. Down the inside on Stefano, down the inside on Stefano again, and he's through into 2nd place right now. Totson's still chasing down Vaporeon. Julo's really fallen back behind Priya. Totson has lost to Vaporeon now as well. Stefano struggling with Corvid, who's down in 15th. Stefano's dropped 2 seconds behind Juan now. Guetzli starts the final lap of the race. Todd Sod half a second, under a second behind Vaporeon. Can he make the move? He's right there behind Vaporeon on the final lap through the first set of tire chicanes. Can't do it on the inside of the tight hairpin. Can't do it. Guetzli boy is about to win the race. Todd Sod still right behind. Guetzli boy wins the Lithuanian C-Prix. Juan comes home to 2nd place. Stefano in 3rd. Todd Sod is in front of Vaporeon. Final straight. Vaporeon's got the better traction. He's got some boost saved up more than Todd Sod, but he doesn't need it. Finishes 4th. Todsod in 5th. Amor, great strategy call. Finishes in 6th position. Catter beats Iceberg. He's up in 7th. Iceberg in 8th. Senior Papi will cross the line in 9th. And Julo gets back in front of Priya. And here he goes round the right-hander. He's going to finish in the final points position in 10th place for Julo, 11th for Priya. Enigma, heartbreak for him, 2 tokens only to finish 12th. Butterlord and Fast Juicer 13th and 14th throughout most of this race, both tokenless. Solid stuff from Matessa, even if there's no points or any tokens involved. 13th for Butterlord. 14th for Fast User and Corvid as well. Great tokenless performance. Priya, of course, with the best one in 11th. Corvid finishes in 15th. Suicide crosses the line at 16th. Shadow will be the next one to cross the line. He will finish in 17th. Then it will be Kraft going to finish in 18th. Doesn't manage to do it before the countdown. Charge JT finishes in 19th. And Hnandi in 20th. There you have it. Guetzli boy, the great vector of the Lithuanian Armageddon here at Balanga. But Stefano takes home the fastest lap, and overall great stuff for the noob flow, 3rd and 5th. Amor with his first points and 8 points at that. Managed to recover at the very end there despite a struggle of a car to work with. There you have it, and we'll see you next week for Istanbul, the Turkish C-Prix. We'll see you then. Goodbye.